All right, after tense standoff, the cooling off. The federal government may be backing down from its fight with a Nevada rancher over grazing on government lands, but Ron Paul says that this clash could be an early illustration of things to come. The congressman joins me on the phone. Explain what you mean by that.
Well, I guess you can go either two ways. I'm hoping this is very positive of things to come, where the people stand up and object to the federal government's intrusion into our lives and everything that we do. And when the people do get together and stand up, I think governments will be forced to back down. But the other thing is governments don't give up their power easily, and they may well come back with a lot more force like they did at Waco with the Davidians. So I don't know which way it's going, but so far so good. I was delighted that they got through those couple days and there wasn't any shooting and no killing, because I really encourage, the demonstration against unfairness by our government, but I'd like to see it all nonviolent. And that weekend turned out so far to be a good step.
But people are very angry, to your point, Congressman, and you hope it never comes to violence or to blows. But that's a very, very slight trigger, and it seems to be playing out across the country at different volatile spots, whether it's over illegal immigration or whether it's over health care, it's whether over shout-downs at health care forums and the like. It's palpable. How do you sort of cool things down?
Well, that's the great fear, and that's going to exist, and it's probably going to get worse, especially if a financial crisis gets much worse, which I anticipate. But I think the only way you combat this long term is to try to get people to understand why the problems pop up, why we have our economic crisis and arguments over foreign policy. But in this case, it's who should own the land. In Texas, we went into the union, all the land was privately owned, all the resources were privately developed, and this wouldn't happen because there's no public ownership. And yet, when they own most of these states in the West, everybody owns it and nobody owns it, and you're bound to have problems prop up. But they had virtual, ownership of that land because they had been using it. It was conceded that that family had a right to use it, but it's not clean enough. I think land should be in the states, and I think the states should sell it to the people. It's worked out quite well in big states as well as all our eastern states. But this whole idea is going to lead to more trouble. The politicians get involved, the management people get involved, the special interests, the environmentalists, gold mining gets involved, the oil people and the ranchers. No, you need government. You need the government out of it, and I think that's the important point. So if you don't look at that, you can expect more of these problems, especially when our economy, gets into more trouble, and then there's going to be these arguments. And like you point out, the great danger is what is the trigger? Well, why will the anger be directed toward the enemy when the enemy is really some bad ideas and bad politics that we have to change?
Congressman, thank you.